Alright, cocksuckers, welcome back to Practicing Hands, an artwod figure roadmap, right? What is artwod? The best platform in the world to teach you how to draw from imagination, where they give you the work, not the shortcut work what the fuck, that lets you draw like this after 3 years, 8 months. There you go, great intro, right? Yeah, they're the reason I can draw like this, 100%, like, it's fucking without a doubt. Please go to artwod and just fucking do the work they give you times 100, times 1,000, fucking, and you will, at the very least, be able to draw something that looks very believable, and, yeah, anyways, who am I? I'm Viggy. I'm Viggy. This channel is a repository of my practice to prove that anybody, especially you, can draw, right? Granted, you focus on the right things, and there are right things to focus on, and we can enjoy those right things to focus on by focusing only on the one thing we can control, which is effort. Effort. That's why I said it like that, because I'm retarded. Anyways, with that being said, get your pen, get your paper, draw along with me, right? Give me retention, body doubling. My voice is actually, yeah, I thought it was better yesterday. What the fuck? Today it's like, I'll have to really force my deep voice, but it is big on. Still, I think it's just a fuck ton of mucus, bro. It's just a shit ton of mucus. But yeah, what are we doing? We're just practicing for fucking hundreds of repetitions, right? We're on rep 10 right now of the hand mannequin that artwod essentially tells you to do. And this is what they do. This is what it is. It's basically this. Right, I guess I'll do like a smaller version of it. We have a box that is essentially tapered at the top, right? Just presume there's a box like this is the plane, right? And I'll obviously make sure that it's completely disconnected and your lines are shit too. And let's see, it's tapered like so, and this is the contour, right? It's like this. It's slightly manipulated in the middle, in the sense that it curves in the middle, comes upward right around the middle here, and then it curves back down, and then it projects back. Of course, we get that tapering, right? And then we have the hands, or the fingers, right? We also have the thumb. The thumb is basically right at the bottom half of the this thing right here. I'm just trying to explain this to myself too, right? It's at the bottom half. It's a sphere connected to the bottom half of this, and then a cylinder connected to the sphere, and then another tapered cylinder for the thumb. But this is supposed to be apparently longer, so it's something like this, right? That's the thumb, and then the fingers. The fingers are literally like 3 organic cylinders. It's basically, this is the silhouette that they tell you. It's something like this, right? But what is that actually? That is a cylinder, right? That's a cylinder that is manipulated. It's basically a cylinder that is essentially, and that's actually really good to explain this to yourself, by the way, like, and at least to me, I think it's really beneficial to explain to myself as well, because what is this actually? Like this, it's a cylinder that's basically, if we basically closing it off, right? We're closing it off here, and it is tapering a little bit, so it's something, it's like a sausage. How do I explain this in terms of forms, right? Because this is the form manipulate. This is like the contour of it, right? You could say it starts like, it basically tapers to a point, I guess you could say, right? Like even here you can say that like, oh, it just kind of keeps going until it tapers to a point. And obviously our job in terms of understanding form is to understand the silhouette of this, right? Like that's why it's an organic curve and not something that's like so, because this is a flat surface and this is a curved surface, something that's infinitely curving, right? And then it just curves to a point. Like that is literally just a point. So that's the best way I can explain it. Again, like I'm not Antonio, the creator of artwod, right? I do not explain things very well. Go to him, cocksucker. Go to him, right? But this is basically, and they really encourage you to essentially experiment with kind of making these forms not exactly straight. Like we don't want it to be rigid. Maybe have the pinky out like this, maybe the middle 2 fingers out like this, and the pointer finger out in a different direction, right? Because that's what our hands do. Our hands don't rest like this or like this, right? Nobody's fucking hand like in a resting position like this. Even if you were just to casually put it out like this, you see, thumb is kind of like put off to the side, kind of like drooping down, right? This middle finger for some reason is just kind of moving up a little bit. This finger is going down. These two are like kind of, it's a bit more drooped, I guess you could say. And then they also encourage you to draw the contours, right? And here I'm thinking maybe I will, instead of separating it like with a line I was doing prior, I'll probably just view it as one solid mass for the time being, right? And There you go, right? This is, and just get the contours down. Hope I'm explaining it decently. But at the end of the day, what is this all? This is all inside a box, right? That's the biggest thing to consistently get in mind, because this is like one half and then this is the other half, right? And this is all inside a box. And that's the main thing that you need to consistently keep visualizing to the best of your ability, is that this is all inside a box, and do your best to see through that box as well, right? Like this is all inside a box. And same with this, like this sphere is also just a box that's connected to this, right? It is a form intersection, right? But anyways, let's actually draw it on a larger scale, which is much more difficult. And for me, the biggest challenge right now is to zoom out to see, and by the way, like I'm also trying to see the diagonal cross sections of every single plane of the box, right? I'm also trying to see all this, right? And also the seen through ones as well, but this is also what I'm practicing seeing, right? So the biggest challenge for me right now is to see all of that whilst I practice, right? For lack of a better word. And like to see all of that while I practice right now, I've already started thinking, because drawing is thinking. I hope you're drawing along with me. But like, and I need to keep it at this. I think that's a good sized box. So obviously this is going to teach me a lot about consistency and placement, right? Bless me. So the biggest thing I need to do right now is, and again, like I'm looking at the example that artwod gives, right? But the biggest thing to do right now is I'm zooming out as much as I can. Like I'm genuinely zooming out as much as I can, and I'm trying to see the full box with the diagonal cross section. It's very difficult, and this is where you have to keep telling yourself that this is a good thing. This is where you keep attaching dopamine to errors, right? Because this is incredibly difficult, right? And I've already like made a lot of mistakes with the lines in and of itself, but I'm zooming out as much as I can. I'm constantly trying to see this cross section, right? What's it called? Like I already got this curve incorrect. This is supposed to be a little bit more like this, right? Oof, this is so difficult. And then this cross section, and then this one right here, right? So like I'm trying to see all of that, and while I'm doing that, I'm also trying to zoom out and see and get this proportionally accurate, right? Get this proportionally accurate, and that is way too large, but it's too late because I've committed. Like it's way too large, but I've committed to this thumb, and it's also off center, right? And I'm really trying to think as to what this will look like, and I'm just again forcing myself to feel good while I do this, because it's the only thing that we can do, is to force ourselves to feel good while we do this. And again, I'm constantly losing the diagonal cross section, I'm constantly losing the overall box in general, right? But I'm trying to keep that in mind, and this actually tapers outward a little bit. So this box is actually a bit larger. That's the other thing I forgot to mention, is like this tapers outward, so the box is actually a little bit larger because the palm does taper outward like so, right? And let me actually get the thumb here as well. So the thumb is attached right around here, and this is beautiful because basically what I'm trying to see right now is I'm trying to zoom out and see the diagonal cross sections to the best of my ability of the entire box, right? Of the entire box, while I also, let me taper this as well. I think it's supposed to be a bit longer, but yeah, see, okay, so this cylinder is supposed to be much shorter, so that's why this thumb looks fucking retarded. It looks like a fucking dick. It literally looks like a dick, right? Because I made this too long, like this cylinder, this base thumb. It's like this is like the tiny cylinder, and then this is a bigger one, right? Maybe my thumb is not the best example of that. I am not the fucking quintessential example for like the ideal proportions, right? But either way, see, like now it's tapered because it's going that way, and then we have to, again, I'm trying to zoom out, I'm trying to make it more more what the fuck is the word I'm trying to use, goddammit. I'm trying to make it more, I'm trying to make it angled as per the perspective, because this is the plane, right, of the box, and then this is the taper I'm trying to apply to it, right, like such. But that's not over yet, because I still have to keep zooming out. This is one half, so now I have to think about the opposite side, like the additional, and this is the fucking left hand, so this is the pointer finger. Okay, cool. So I have to think about this pointer finger and the yeah, there you go, and the fucking God damn it. I can't, I'm struggling so much to think right now. It's beautiful. But because I'm really trying to consistently, all I'm trying to do is see the box, right? See the box. So I'm trying to, and you can see purposefully, like, I made this perspective go this way, even though this is angled like this. That is correct, right? So again, this is also a bit too small, I think, right? If I look at the example, they actually made the fingers slightly larger than half. So they made it something like this, right? Now, maybe that's more correct. Maybe this is like a third, like fucking 3/5 or like 2/6 or whatever the fuck. I don't even know what the fucking ratios are. I'll have to like mathematically calculate it in my head, right? But either way. And then now we can get the middle. Oh shit, that was a mistake, but it's okay. There you go, something like that. And I've already lost the perspective multiple times, multiple times. And then now we're gonna draw the contours, right? And I obviously am trying to do this relatively fast while I'm zooming out, right? So this is good because basically what this teaches me is I need to keep my lines clean, right? Now my lines need to be clean, my visualization of the lines needs to be clean. While I'm applying these lines, my visualization of the overall box needs to be clean, right? And this is exactly what we want. And I'm in a lot of discomfort right now because I'm explaining this while I'm drawing too. Let's not forget, like I'm literally explaining this while I'm drawing, right? So my prefrontal cortex is being taxed, but my parietal lobe is also being taxed via the explanation. And then I'm also visualizing consistently the box. I'm trying to see this diagonal cross section, this one. And the biggest thing I want to talk about today actually is uncertainty, right? Like as artists, and as anybody who's trying to learn a skill. So I don't want to just particularly like say this is for artists, but for anybody who's trying to learn a skill, the biggest thing we're going to face in our journey is uncertainty. Uncertainty in the micro and uncertainty in the macro, right? And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is uncertainty in the micro is like I'm uncertain if what I'm doing is quote unquote correct, right? Like, oh, see that line was not correct. But I am uncertain if what I'm doing is correct, right? Like I'm uncertain if I'm learning correctly, right? I probably shouldn't have even made that line. It's kind of unnecessary, right? I'm uncertain if I'm visualizing this correctly. I'm uncertain if I even understand the forms correctly, right? But that's uncertainty in the micro. Being unsure, but doing my best to try to understand what I am certain of, which is the fact that these are, I believe the proportions, these are, I believe the ratios and all that shit, right? Another thing is what I just realized is what they do is the fingers start way sooner. So another mistake I'm clearly making is the fact that these fingers, oh, that was the wrong pen, fucking Jesus Christ, bro. That these fingers need to be essentially just like, let's say one arbitrary unit before starting in length, right? So that is already a lot better when it's like, oh, okay, like they are already starting basically right after the palm, right? Like right after this palm middle point, it's like, okay, we got a little bit, because that's exactly what happens in real life. Like that's the space for the knuckle is what I should imagine it as, right? Like this is knuckle space, you know, like this is literally knuckle space. And that actually makes it a lot easier to understand as well. But uncertainty in the micro is like, did I visualize that correctly? Did I understand it correctly? Do I even know what the fuck I'm doing? Uncertainty in the macro as well, in terms of will I ever get better, right? Like, will I ever actually get good, you know, get good? And the answer to that is by pushing through the uncertainty in the micro for a very fucking long time, right? Like that is literally all we can do is to push through uncertainty in the micro for a very long time until the macro catches up with that. And oh motherfucker, you see that was goddamn garbage. And again, like this is what I'm trying to visualize. Is I'm trying to visualize this diagonal cross section and this diagonal cross section. Now you might be wondering, why the fuck do you need to visualize the diagonal cross sections if the box is enough? Right? Like you actually, like personally, do you not need to, like, is it really necessary to visualize this? Like, cause you might be like, okay, for your figure shit, I understand. Like for your figure drawings, sure, I get that you need to like know the ratios and all that shit. But is it really necessary for this? And the answer is yes, because this is where the center line is, right? Like we have fucking center line somewhere around here, which I completely fucked up, Jesus Christ. Okay, it's like center lines like right around there somewhere, right? And that is where my palm should be. No, that is where the edge of my palm should be. But again, fucking artwad's examples aren't even like that, so maybe I need to figure out an arbitrary rule set for myself. But anyways, please rest your brain. Let's fucking keep going. Let's just keep going. Right? Rest your brain. Let's keep trying. This is fucking amazing. But that is a pretty decent warm-up. Now I clearly need to just grind my brain even harder. Ugh, that was delicious water. Please stay hydrated, my friend. Right, we cannot draw well if we cannot drink water. There is no fancy saying there or quote or rhyme. It's just the truth. Just please stay hydrated, right? Anyways, now I'm just gonna try to think of a different angle, right? Bottom angles are always the most fun, or the most difficult, and this thumb looks so stupid. But anyways, like I'm still trying to figure out the thumb. See, like this. Bless me. Oh, fuck me, I dropped this pen again. God damn it. But yeah, don't mind me. Anyways, I'm just looking at the example right now because artwad's all about intuition, which I respect, I admire, and I agree with. But I'm all about calculating, right? And then after hundreds and thousands of calculations, making that intuition. So what am I trying to do right now? Is I am trying to figure out an angle that, okay, I think I got an angle down. So I'm trying to, okay, I got this. This is the angle that I'm thinking of, right? This is the angle that I'm thinking of, right? And I think I'm going to make it the right hand still, right? Yeah, we'll make it the right hand still. And let's see, because I still have to figure out exactly how. And this is the very fun part right now, and I'm already in extreme cognitive discomfort because I am trying to visualize everything while not looking at this mark that I made, right? But I failed miserably, but I'm trying to like calculate what I can do here, right? And genuinely trying to figure out, right, what the perspective is that I'm trying to figure out. And I think I made this a bit too much, so maybe you'll have to shift the perspective slightly to make up for it, right? And what I mean is, like, I made this angle, like, the tapering a bit too much, right? Because it's not really that tapered. My hand's actually pretty fucking straight, so I don't even know why they tell us to taper it. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, right? But either way, I'm trying to think. I'm struggling so hard right now, like, to think about the overall box. But I'm trying to see this diagonal cross section, right? And this is the center point, right? And then now I need the sphere, right? Which is essentially, and I keep making the sphere, the top half of the sphere, way too large, so that's a mistake on my end. And the fact that I've recognized it is actually a good thing, right? But I need to think about the cylinder that's coming out as well. There you go, something like that. And then I need to think about, while I'm doing all this, I keep losing obviously I keep losing the perspective, but overall, this is okay, I think. Right, this angle is way too much, but sometimes you just gotta yabba dabba do, the yabba dabba do. Very, very, yeah, look at this. This looks like a fucking butt. And let's see, we have the thumb right around there, and that's supposed to be longer. There you go, and that's tapered, right? And yeah, that's way too wide. Holy shit, you see how bad that is? That's way too fucking wide. But it's okay. This is how we learn, right? And technically, this could be the hand of a dwarf, right? This could be the hand of a dwarf, you know? But either way, like, that doesn't even make sense, I don't think, right? Actually, fuck, maybe that does make sense. Right? It's always good to look at our own hands, right? We actually have it. I think for hands especially, this is the one fucking time we actually have something that directly, and by the way, like, I'm consistently losing this perspective, but this is the first time. Hands is like the one time we actually have the fucking thing to use as like a reference, right? And there you go, that spot right there. And then this is when I make it when I have to think about this difference right there. Oh, what the fuck am I saying? When I have to think about this gap right here, right? And it's very difficult to think, don't get me wrong. Like, it's actually very fucking extremely difficult to think right now, because I'm also trying to make sure that my lines are clean while I'm not looking at the lines, right? Okay, so now we can tell that the ratio of the fucking thumb to the hand, the fingers, is super just wrong, because like I should have made this much bigger, right? Like that is probably better. Not good, but still probably better, right? And while I'm trying to zoom out and still trying to visualize this box and the center points to the best of my ability, right? Let me draw the contours, right? Draw the contours of these organic finger forms, right? This is extremely fucking difficult, bro. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh, a million things to learn. I love it. I love it. There's a part of me that is, and this is what I mean by uncertainty, like there's a part of me that just feels as if I'll never understand. But as long as I just keep forcing myself to feel good and do my best to recognize my mistakes, and again, like while I'm drawing this, I'm trying to zoom out and think about the entire perspective, which is so very difficult. Like genuinely very difficult, right? And that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what any of us should want, is the difficulty of trying, because that is where progress, and again, while I'm doing these contours, I keep losing the perspective and I have to keep bringing it back in my mind. But that is exactly what we want, right? Like that literally is what we want. And now I have to, like, while I'm zooming out and trying to think about this box, right? I'm literally trying to zoom out and think about this box to the best of my ability. And I have lost it multiple times. Right? I'm trying to zoom out and think about the box. This is so difficult. I mean, like, I made the angle wrong, so this is wrong. Like, the hand got fucked the second I made that angle incorrect, right? But I'm trying to also think about the perspective of this sphere inside this, because this is really important too. Like, which way, and now I have to think about the box. Oh, it's like this. Okay, so it's something like, is it like this? Yeah, I think it's something like that, right? And then this is obviously the and see, these lines are way too thick. But that's the contour. Oh, that was so difficult. That was so fucking difficult. That was beautiful. But the box has already gone wrong, right? You know, like Girls Gone fucking... No, the prank gone wrong, right? What the fuck was I saying? I was thinking of Girls Gone Wild. Disgusting. The coom brain strikes again. But that is not what I meant to say. Pranks gone wrong. Yes, pranks gone wrong. But this is actually maybe the box I was thinking of, right? Hopefully. It's hard to tell because I'm struggling quite a bit to even place. And this is why I love this, because this exercise is organic forms meets geometric spatial reasoning, right? And that is fucking fucking shit linemanship, clearly. But organic form meets geometric spatial reasoning, right? And that is already very difficult to think about. But yeah, this box is fucking horrendous. Please ignore it. This is fucking ass. But anyways, please rest your brain. I mean, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same, and then we will continue. Obviously, one of the biggest things I need to keep trying to focus on is the ratio of that thumb to the hand, right? Because this is just like incorrect. If you look at it this way, like this looks fucking retarded, right? Like let's look at it this way. That this way you should see like just how wrong it is, right? So clearly, oh, this is what I need to remember, because I forgot this. If you look at my old hands videos, you'll see that I remember this, but I just remembered it right now. This is what I recall is such a beautiful thing, is like this hand is supposed to be roughly like right around here, because that forms the arch, right? So it should be actually roughly right around here somewhere. And you see that already looks better because it forms an arch with the entire hand. Like this is basically what I vaguely recall Antonio mentioning, is like it should be able to form a natural curve like this, right? Natural curve like this. So it's why this one looks a bit better, because this one actually looks a lot more accurate because that curve exists. And this one doesn't look as good. Perhaps it looks okay, maybe. Like you can tell like which ones look wrong, right? Probably this one looks the worst. Like this one looks wrong too. But anyway, still figuring it out. Let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. Yeah, the most important and difficult thing, I say there's like 50 most important things, as I've been very consistently just fucking floundering about with my explanations. But yeah, clearly one of the important things, because I can't even say most important because everything's fucking important when it comes to learning, is to clearly like just keep trying to visualize, right? Because again, I'm trying to like, I'm drawing faster than I usually do because I'm actively trying to improve my ability to apply while seeing, right? To apply while seeing. And my brain is already like, my working memory is already taxed from trying to hold all the different pieces of information in its brain at once, right? But the main thing is now like to hold all that information in your brain at once while also actively seeing that information in your brain. And that is already very difficult to do, right? And that's exactly what I'm trying to do right now as I'm trying to zoom out and just hold all this information, all this, I don't know what's that information like that, but all this information in my brain, right? And this is part of learning. This is a huge part of learning, is just to know how to hold this information. And right now I'm making, well, actually shouldn't have even drawn that line because that line doesn't make any sense, but it should be more like this. There you go, because that's the taper, right? But right now I'm struggling to visualize the sphere and how it connects to this spot right here, right? So maybe before I even do anything, maybe we'll just draw the taper thumb, right? Which again, I had a lot of trouble just visualizing right now. And this, the tinier tapered thumb. And now maybe that will allow for me to, and I'm fucking, my brain is like mush. I'm telling you right now, my brain is like mush trying to do this. Oh, okay, that's wrong. It should have been like that. There you go, because it's going around, right? And then we have, there you go, that is the box. Okay, so that was completely wrong. And that's amazing, because like again, the speed at which I tried to do it mixed with I was trying to zoom out and see the entire box consistently, which I'm trying to do right now, is expected to be difficult, right? It's expected to be incredibly difficult, right? And that's exactly what I want, is for things to be difficult. And that was, and again, like I fucked it up. Like the thumb was still way too small while I was trying to zoom out and see the entire box, right? Like the thumb is just way too small. But that is exactly where I'm going to be learning, because that is the halfway point. If I look at the example provided by artwod, like that is roughly the halfway point, right? It seems like it's a little bit larger than halfway. So if anything, the thumb should have been, I mean, how is this even connected, right? How is this even, and again, while I'm looking here, I'm trying to zoom out and just still see the entire box here. But like, how is the fuck is this even connected? Oh, it's like this. Oh, I see it. Yeah, it should have been more like this. There you go. Yeah, there you go. It's something, there you go. That's actually a lot better. That is exactly, or not exactly, but that is a lot better, right? And again, seems like I'm making the width of these cylinders a little too low, a little too little. What the fuck am I saying? Just small, just too thin. And then this is the thumb, right? This is a tapering thumb. And that looks, again, a lot better, right? Ignore my fucked up pinky. I have a scar and it's an injury, and my knuckles don't exist. This is, or my knuckle doesn't exist, right? But either way, and now I'm trying to zoom out and see the entire box and its diagonal cross sections while I apply these lines. And this is extremely difficult for me. Again, like this is such a different type of difficult for me because I've never. Also, I'm making this way too apparent. Like from what I can see, what artwod's doing, it's way more organic. It's something like this. Like that's what they're doing, right? Or something like this. There you go. And then I would do, right? There you go, like something like that. To like in terms of the and then I would highlight the contour of the organic form. There you go. I need to be very explicit. Something like that. Something like this doesn't tell you fucking shit. It tells you nothing, and that is fucking useless, right? And I'm getting angry about this to my at myself because I know how many times have I watched an artist draw, and they're like, and then you do this. And then you do that. Why? Because it's fucking difficult to talk while drawing. Yes, I understand that. But I cannot be that. I have to be the fucking exception that can explicitly state that, hey, right now I'm zooming out, I'm thinking about the box, I'm thinking about this box right here, and I'm thinking about the diagonal cross section, diagonal cross section, diagonal cross section, diagonal cross section, this one here. I'm doing my best. I can barely see it. It's fucking fading out, right? And while I'm doing that, I'm also trying to make sure my lines are clean, and I'm trying to also see the diagonal, the cross contours of these organic forms that I'm creating the fucking form indications for, right, of their contour. I need to be very explicit for my sake and for your sake, because you do not need a dipshit that just does what every other artist does, right, who says then you do like this and then you do like that, and your mind is like, what the fuck do you mean do like this, do like that, right? This is a tapered box with an organic contour, right? Tapered box, contour. If we look at it zoomed in from another perspective, this is the perspective, right? It would be like this. It would be corner, rounded here, and then rounded in the middle. It's like a fucking butt crack. It's like a giant fucking bum, right? And then tapers outward. There you go. That is the palm, right? Meanwhile, while you're doing that, you're thinking about the fucking box, right? I actually forgot to taper it, so it's actually more like this. The box is actually extended, like so, right? And this is actually tapered outward, right? Tapered outward, like so. How do you get that diagonal cross section? Because you cut it in half like this, and then you do this. And this is the angle that you're getting. This subtle angle, that's what you're getting, right? When you taper it. At least that's what I'm explicitly thinking about, right? So yes, I apologize for not being explicit. I apologize for not telling you exactly what I'm thinking. Like right now, I'm struggling a lot to see the entire box while I also try to get the contour accounted for with this line, while also making the lines themselves relatively clean and fast, right? All like fucking dozens of different skills. And you can see I made a lot of beautiful mistakes. And again, I need to think about this sphere. How is the sphere located? It's like this is the center line of the sphere, right? It's like this. There you go. You know, that is the contour. And same with this contour. Hopefully that makes it a lot easier. Hopefully I fucking explain it better, because like Jesus Christ, I'm doing a fucking ass job, and I genuinely apologize, because these beginning phases is more important for you to understand what I'm thinking about, right? Like, and I feel as if that is what's necessary, you know, like that is what's necessary, because otherwise you are just left thinking, oh, he's just drawing, right? He's not thinking, or at least like that's what I think. Well, that's what I would assume anybody is thinking if they see me fucking drawing and just being like, oh, you do this and you do that, right? Useless fucking explanations, doesn't tell you anything, right? I have nothing against artists who do that shit, but I have everything against the experience of listening to an artist do that shit. I.e. like you listening to me, or me listening to another artist, where I'm trying to like understand what they're thinking, and you have to like fucking decipher the vagueness of their speech, right? So no, right? I'm thinking about this explicitly. Am I doing it well? No. Is it flickering constantly? Yes. Is it diverging constantly? Yes. Is it really there all that often? No. But am I constantly trying to recall and bring it back? Yes. And that is the key definition, is like I'm constantly trying to recall and bring it back, right? And that is what allows for me to get better at seeing this schema. This is a schema, right? Where the box with the diagonal cross sections exists. And again, my fucking center lines are so off, bro. That's a good thing, because that just means I can just keep going, right? But it's really important, I think. See, like you can tell it's off, but it's really important that it's, for me, it's very important to be explicit. This is not even like it's supposed to be down here. Yeah, either way, like, you can tell it's pretty off. But yeah, it's very important for me that you understand exactly what I'm thinking, because it's easier then, I assume, right? It's easier to know, like, oh, okay, like, this is the level of thought that's going into it, i.e. this is the level of thought into the draftsmanship that's going into it, right? Fuck me, it's already been 35 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same, and then we're just gonna flip the page and then just keep going, right? I guess I could technically draw right here. I guess I will. I don't like wasting paper. I'll do another one here, and then I'll flip the page and do another one. But it is getting slightly better, but you can tell I do a lot better with these top-down angles than the bottom ones. So what do? We do more bottom angles, right? Because that is the difficult angle. Like, it is, we have to keep doing the difficult angle, right? And there's a million things that are wrong. My lines, my forms, the consistency, the visualization, the speed. And that's beautiful, because I just keep going, just keep practicing. But anyways, please rest your brain. All right, let's keep trying. I'm trying to think. Basically, I've been making everything like on this side. I want to make sure. I want to make the thumb not as I want to make the thumb on the opposite side. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But let me first try to think about. Okay, I thought of an angle, right? We'll put it right here, so that way it's not like super further down, like an awkward angle to draw. But again, like, I'm already thinking about the box, right? The diagonal cross section, right? Maybe I do need to improve. Not maybe. I definitely need to improve my ability in the proportion in which I see the box, right? And this diagonal cross section, this one. But at the end of the day, it is still up to me to try to understand what it is that I am seeing, right? And in terms of visualizing the entire perspective, like, right now I've already such a beautiful feeling. I've already lost the box because I've been zoomed in, right, on the overall like, I've been zoomed in on just drawing this, right? But I've already lost the box. So I need to take a step back, right, and to see, like, okay, like, what, okay, so how am I getting this angle, right? Because this is my box relatively. It's actually more like this, but this is my box, right? Zoomed out. There it is. How am I getting this angle? Well, that's because I cut it in half, and then I put this diagonal and that diagonal right there this way. That's the half. So same thing here. What is the half? It's like right around here, right? And now I need to think, like, okay, now what is the sphere that's wrapped around this, right? Not only what is the sphere that's wrapped around it, and I'm trying to think about the box still. I'm still trying to think about the box, but not only is what is the sphere wrapped around it. Let's actually get this underway. There you go. Still could be a lot better. I still think I made it a bit too wide, right? But what is the sphere that's wrapped around this? Oh, I should have made it. There you go. Yeah, and what, like, I'm trying to think really hard right now. Not only what is the sphere that's wrapped around it, but the hand, right? Like, where's the fucking thumb located, right? Like, how is it located? And I think if I get, let's see, if I get the, it's really hard to think, but there you go. That's my sphere. Something like this. There you go. I think I did. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that has issues. I should have made it a bit more further out. There you go. Something like that. There. That's a lot. That's a lot more embedded. And there you go. That is the connection, right? Lots of issues. I've already lost the perspective multiple times, and I'm just constantly trying to bring it back, right? And again, like, this is way too wide. I keep making it way too wide while thinking it is correct and not that wide. Like, it is not that much of a taper. Like, I need to be, it's even more subtle of a taper than that, clearly, right? And now I need to think, like, where is the sphere the cylinder, right? And this is the other cylinder. That's a thin one, and then we need to think about okay, what the fuck is the hand even doing? Oh, it's like this, I guess, right? It's tapering. Ooh, the perspective for this is actually very difficult. So I need to think where the thumb is going, right? Because this is like the perspective that I've chosen. So I guess the thumb, you could say, is kind of like way, I could make it like way tapered back, like so. That's wrong, and it doesn't look good, right? But I guess I could try to do that. And then now I'm going to, and this is the pointer finger, right? This is the pointer finger. Now we're gonna try to make this a little bit more organic. And I'm still trying to see the still trying to see the overall box while I do this, right? Whew, so difficult. Like, does that even make sense? It looks like this. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And let's see, and try to get this. This is my, I guess, there you go. This is the more organic. Yeah, there you go. That's the more organic form. But now, what does that actually look like? Yeah, that does not make sense. Like, it's like this, and then my fucking thumb is like all the way back. So the thumb should definitely have been way more like this, right? It should have been something like that. Does that look better? A little bit better. Still looks retarded. But that was very difficult. That was extremely, extremely taxing on my brain, right? Like, genuinely very taxing. And again, like, while I am zooming out and trying to think about all the proportions, I'm also trying to zoom out and think about the box as well, right? Genuinely trying to think about the box and the diagonal cross section. And my lines are suffering because of that, as you can see, and that's a good thing, right? Like, that's 100% a good thing, because to be able to zoom out and try to think about this is important to me, obviously. And I obviously fucked up again, because like this is probably should be a lot more tapered, right? But either way, it is very difficult to think or to explain while talking, especially when I'm forcing myself to draw fast. And I'm like zoomed in on those, so I need to zoom out again, I need to zoom out. I'm like forcing myself to draw fast while making these marks, right? Now, if I look at this, the thumb in general, see, Antonio and like the examples that they give, Antonio and I think other people like Arn and all that stuff, like, because they have different people, different artists who give examples, right? I'm following it based on the example mannequin. And I think from what I can tell, yeah, like the sphere is just basically, it's at the halfway point. So if this is my, like if this is my halfway point, right? Like roughly like this is my halfway point. The sphere takes up this. Like this is the right amount of space. I'm just confused as to, and I think I definitely should have made this something like this. Like that, would that have been better? I think that would have been better, no? If it was, no, that still looks retarded. Thumb is actually very difficult to figure out. TBH fam, right? But, oh wait, this is rep number 13. I forgot to number it. But thumb is very difficult to figure out. Yeah, I'm just still trying to figure out the proportions and everything. But this, even with how stupid it looks, is still getting slowly more accurate, right? I'm just trying to ensure. I think the biggest thing is like I'm not making the thumb large enough, like the thumb space large enough, right? Like if this is my sphere, right, then if I was in that perspective, then the thumb probably should have been something like this, right? Something like that. That looks a lot better. That looks a lot better, right? None of these are accurate because these look like fucking bananas. Like this is what I ended up doing where I'm like this. That is not right. Like it tapers organically, and I was trying to visualize exactly what my thumb would look like while it's kind of going away, right? It's still not fully well done, right? It's still not fully well done, but it's a start, right? And I'm just trying to think. There you go. That's roughly where the contour, the fucking cross section of the sphere is, right? And this is the box that I was envisioning. Even now, right now, I'm trying to envision it, right? But I made this way too wide. The tapering is way too. It's not good, right? Actually, you know what? No, you know what the mistake was? You see, you notice how I said this was my box, and this is what the box I'm envisioning now. So like, I clearly did not draw the right box. Like, that's probably the problem more than anything. Probably the problem. Really nice sentence, I guess. But that may be the problem more than anything. And yeah, like I keep losing the perspective. Yeah, I keep losing the perspective. It's actually hilarious how many times I keep losing the perspective. But anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. And just keep going. Just keep fucking practicing and keep going. Like, this discomfort that I feel is so palpable, yet I must lean into it constantly and just keep trying to figure it out, right? And that's the beauty of this is just the beauty of fucking like these practice sessions. Like, it's just sheer discomfort and just leaning into it and be like, oh, okay. Like, we have to be curious. The only thing we can do is be curious and enjoy the failures, right? Because there's no other alternative. Like, we must be curious as to why we're failing. We must be curious as to what may be lending way to that failure, and then we must be curious as to if we can exert enough effort to try to rectify those failures, or even rectify those failures. But yeah, to rectify those failures by even like fucking 1%, right? Like maybe even fucking 0.5%, like possibly, right? Like, but yeah, like it's just the only way. But yeah, please rest your brain. If you could hear those tick 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 noises, that was just me cracking my knuckles. It's very fucking bored while I'm not bored, but while I'm resting my brain, right? And like, I want to be very clear. Like, I constantly feel like I'm not doing well, especially with these practice sessions where I'm forcing myself to draw faster and to think faster, right? That is very uncomfortable considering I usually take my time, but I'm specifically forcing myself, I'm forcing my brain to speed up and consolidate the basic math of geometry that I have already learned, right? But it's very difficult. It's extremely difficult. Let's do another again, and I'm constantly gonna try to do very difficult angles as well, right? So again, let's try to practice let's do another top-down angle, right? Let's do another top-down angle, maybe something like, and I've already like started visualizing to the best of my ability what I can do, right? And let's just start by, and even this, like, I'm trying to zoom out as much as possible, and you can see I'm zoomed in right now, but you can see even the lines still suffer greatly, right? The lines still suffer greatly, and so do the curves and everything, right? And I'm trying to zoom out, I'm trying to see the box. This is my halfway point, right? And this is the taper. Like, this is my subtle taper, which is decent. That is exactly like what I want, like that level of subtlety, right? And again, I lost the perspective again multiple times. I keep losing it. And now we need the sphere, right? And the sphere is embedded at the halfway point of this. So I'm literally seeing like another fucking diagonal cross section here while I'm doing this, right? While I'm also trying to overall see the entire box to the best of my ability, right? And let's see, I'm trying to, no, like, see, that doesn't work. Maybe something like this. Okay, but is this the right hand or the left hand? I gotta figure that out first. Fucking, we'll make it I guess we'll make it the right hand, right? We'll make it the right hand. And I'm trying to think. Like, this is my sphere, and it is roughly right around there. Okay, so I already made a mistake there, but that's okay. We just have to accept it. And then it comes out like so. And again, I've already lost the perspective, so I need to once again zoom out. So me explicitly stating this helps a lot, but like I've already lost the perspective. And then we need to also think about where the thumb is, right? Like where is this thumb located? And it needs to be a little bit larger, right? It needs to be a little bit larger. And then we need the little tapering one as well. And this is exactly where I can hopefully, and I've lost the perspective again, but I'm trying to really keep that in mind, but this is where I can hopefully, what's it called? Suck my own dick, clearly. But yeah, this is hopefully where I can get the tapering accurate and the size accurate. So I'm trying to keep that in mind to the best of my ability. And notice how I say best of my ability, right? Not that I can do it, but just the best of my ability that I currently try to do it at, right? And again, I'm zooming out, I'm trying to see the box. And then I'm gonna try to apply the forefinger, right? Fourscored, one finger later, whee! Okay, and then we have this, which is the, and again, like I'm losing the box completely, but the taper looks like so, right? This right here, this is the fucking middle little organic form. And then maybe we can make this pinky kind of be like nani, right? What are you doing, bro? But that obviously looks off. But I lost the perspective there quite a few times. But already, like that felt a lot more comfortable. I mean, not comfortable, but that felt like I was genuinely like making a solid effort to visualize and to understand, right? Which is the most important point. Like the whole goal forever and always will be to visualize and to understand. And while I'm drawing these contours, I am doing my absolute best to zoom out and to still see the geometric spatial reason perspective and, you know, the diagonal cross section, this one, and this one. That one's really subtle, right? But I'm doing my best. I am trying to see it as well as I can. And again, like the fucking drawing the lines fast is something that I'm simply uncomfortable with currently. And that was wrong too. But that is something I also have to get better at, with constantly just feeling good. Again, I'm attaching dopamine to effort. My acetylcholine is off the charts, right? My fucking norepinephrine is just like, yo, dog, like, what are we focusing on, bro? Like, put the spotlight on that shit. And then I feel good. I just feel good. I'm just constantly, I just lost the perspective again. I just lost the box saying, oh, that line was a mistake. That line was a mistake. I just lost the perspective again, right? Just really trying to see everything. Just really trying to see diagonal cross section down here, up here, this very subtle one even, right? That's basically like this, like right there. Whew. Okay, and again, this thing's center line, I think that's off actually, but there you go, something like that, right? And then this thing's cross section, and we have a cross section for this as well. And this shit already, like, it's just already I feel a lot more comfortable with what I'm drawing, to be honest, right? And I think this in particular, this spot is where the palm ends. I wish I had like a different color to showcase it, but I don't. So just fucking believe me when I say that's probably the middle point. Maybe not, but either way, right? Like we could always just do this maybe to really showcase the perspective that I'm thinking about, right? Maybe that helps. Same thing here. Yeah, that probably helps a little, perhaps, I don't know. But either way, right? This is again always what I'm trying to think about to the best of my ability. This box. And like this one's again, like always ends up being fucking much bigger than I anticipate. And it's great. Like, I think honestly I've made pretty decent progress for just 14 repetitions, right? That diagonal cross section is like fucking ass. But, and same with that one, Jesus Christ. I don't even know what the center is, bro. It's like right around here. But I do think I made pretty decent progress, all things considered. But again, clearly like the palm is not at the center, right? Because this top is much larger. Like that, it seems like it really seems like the fucking I don't know. Like when I see some of their examples, some of it is even, sometimes it isn't even, right? So it's hard to say, right? And that's the space. So actually, technically, it is in the center. I did a pretty good job there, right? And that's this diagonal cross section right here. And again, constantly just zooming out. Okay, so I guess it was a little bit off. Actually, no, I did get it right. I initially calculated it incorrectly, but I did get it right. There you go. Okay, cool. But yeah, like that's what I'm constantly trying to think about, right? Oops, yeah, it's a cheat that one. Oh, I should cheat that one too. Fuck, they're all off, bro. They're all shit. But anyways, right? But yeah, let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. I'll do one more repetition and it'll be roughly an hour. Like my brain is feeling warm. Like this shit is a struggle. It's just such a different struggle than what I'm used to, which is good. But yeah, I think like it's funny because like this was okay, and then this was shit, and then this was okay, and then this was shit, and now this is also okay. And I'm gonna do another angle probably from a different part of my hand. But let me rest my brain. Let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Ah, bro, I have so much fucking mucus in my throat, so I'm just waiting for this goddamn sickness to go away. Disgusting! I say disgusting. But, anyways. Right, let me do one more repetition. And then we call it day. Is that what we do? We call it day? Right? It's weird. I did 9 reps last time. I literally did 1, 2, fucking bear. Now this time I've done 1. But I like this. This is a good pace. I've slowed down. I'm thinking a lot more, which is what matters, right? I'm not just bum rushing it, but I'm still doing it faster than just fucking being like, guys, I'm looking at all these different calculations, right? So, and I think I should probably make these a bit thicker. I don't think I'm making the hands thick enough. I mean, my hands are pretty thin, but it seems like these mannequins are perhaps a little bit thicker. Right? I'm just trying to think right now. Let's see. Yeah, like, again, the way they attach the spheres and they do the form combinations fucking objectively makes no sense to me. Which is why, like, because they don't do it like this. They don't do this. They just have, it's like this, and then they just put the fucking sphere, and they're like, it's attached. And I'm like, the fuck? And it's like this. And then they have the... Well, actually, maybe they do. Alright, then they have the thumb, and then they have the tapering thumb. Right, actually, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Who'd have fucking thought I'm wrong? Right? Yeah, it's like this. This is how they attach it, right, to the fucking the tapering box or the fucking whatever the fuck the thingy, the what am I saying, bro? The goddamn palm, right? This is how they seem to do it, right? Something like this. So let's see. Okay, well, let me try again. Let me do it from the knuckle one, because I actually do want to start drawing the knuckles as well, right? And at the end of the day, like, this mannequin is great, so I'm just trying to turn it into my own. Not so much so that it completely deviates from what they're teaching, because I still want to retain the simplicity, but enough that I that I do, like, that I can push it a little bit more and have an understanding, right? So again, let me visualize the box and start by drawing the base. There you go, something like that, right? And same thing with this. Okay, so that is the diagonal. By the base, I mean the palm, right? This is the box, right? This is the diagonal. This is a subtle diagonal. This is the other subtle diagonal. So this is where it ends, right? It ends like right around here, because that's the taper. And then we have the knuckle. And this is just me postulating, I guess you could say. Oh, that was too small. But this is just me postulating, yes, you could say. Right? that this is how it connects. Right? Like this is how the fucking, let's see, the knuckles connect. I could be wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. Right? Wow, what a fucking statement. Anyways, let me try to get the thumb in all its glory attached, and I'm trying to think about the tapering box as well, and I'm trying to get the sphere attached as well, and this is obviously where I'm going to be making mistakes, but it's not bad. I actually managed to, even though it's off-centered, I managed to do a pretty decent job there, I think, right? I actually managed to do a pretty decent job there in terms of like connecting it. And now I'm still trying to think about the overall box. And now we just, let's see. Now we just try to get the fingers. I mean, there's a bit of foreshortening happening, right? So now I'm just trying to get the fingers down, right? Oh, fuck. I'm trying to think about, because again, like that is tapered, so that has to look like it's tapered. And let's see if we can get this to actually look like the hand. Gotta get this angle down, gotta get this, trying to connect it, trying to zoom out and connect. Oh, see, that's a fuck up. That's a fuck up. That's definitely a fuck up. And I'm just forcing myself to feel good while I made that fuck up. It was actually going pretty good. That actually looks pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. That actually looks pretty decent, right? From what I can tell. But actually, I guess the other thing is like this should be the overlap, right? There you go. That should be the overlap, because this finger, right? Like it's overlapping this right here. This middle organic fucking tumor that you could call it, right? There you go. And now again, I'm still trying to think about the box. I'm still really trying to think about the box and the diagonal cross sections. But now I am going to draw. See, that was a fuck up. The contours. I'm gonna really try to think about the contours and try to get it relatively accurate. That was wrong. That was pretty wrong, but these are all pretty wrong actually. But I'm still trying to zoom out and think about the diagonal cross sections of the box. Right? That was wrong too, and that was also wrong. Right? But this is beautiful. I love how this challenges my brain, and you can see again, like some angles I do a lot better with, other angles I struggle a lot more with. But overall, the idea is what matters, right? Like the fact that I'm getting it down is huge. Like the fact that I'm slowly but surely getting the proportions down. The thumb is actually way too small. I think we can see the thumb is actually way too small, right? So that's an issue, obviously, right? Like that is a pretty big issue. You could say that it's foreshortened, but I still think, if we look at it this way, like I still think, yeah, thumb could have been probably up until here, but that's just because I do this part first, right? So if I made the thumb this long, that actually already makes it slightly better, because again, we want that nice curve with our knuckles, I guess, or like the middle part of our fingers, right? So that curve is already, that's already better. Like just that increase in length is already better, so that's good. Oh wait, let me get there you go, that's the correct perspective, right? Same thing with this sphere, right? And then just gotta get the contours for this thumb. And again, while I'm drawing the contours here, I'm trying to overall think about this box, right? Like it's very difficult to zoom out while zooming in, you know? And get the contours for the knuckles as well. There you go. That's not bad at all. And that was very fucking amazing. That was fun. Dude, I fucking love drawing. I love how even the simplest things can challenge the shit out of your brain, right? Like, that is actually my favorite part about drawing, is how the simplest things can challenge your brain. Because it is a brain workout. Like, it is challenging to the brain, right? Like, that is what it is. And that is what I love. That is what I want it to be, you know? Obviously, I didn't make this box long enough to account for like the middle two fingers, but hopefully the idea is clear that I'm constantly trying to think about everything because I'm a god. That's what gods do. Oh, look, I actually got the center line right. Would you look at that? He's learning. Holy shit, he's actually fucking learning. Right? He's not just saying bullshit for the sake of saying bullshit. He's genuinely learning. Oh my goodness, everybody is beginning to believe. And if I can do it, you can do it, right? I mean, that is it, is to try and do. You know, that is genuinely it. Because there is nothing else apart from trying. Genuinely, there's nothing else. But that was really fun. That was fucking great session. Yeah, like, I think this is the power of interleaving, right? Because I'm forced to recall. You're forcing yourself to recall, and recall is where our brain even more strengthens the connections, right? When you're literally trying to actively use your brain to bring back things that you passively forget in the time that it has been since you practiced that thing. And technically now, not technically, but now that basically it's anywhere from 4 to 5 days that I do one practice like this again, right? Because I practice 5 days a week and I usually take weekends off of my main practice, right? That is just more time that my brain is utilizing the spacing effect. Granted that I come back, you know, I'll show you a comeback. Anyways, then I come back and I actively try to recall the proportions and try to understand everything properly. Again, like this thumb still has issues. It's still too thin. It's still way too thin. The 100% is still way too thin, right? And that's something I have to actively keep working on, because if I just made this even a little bit thicker, I don't know if I said a little bit, like a little bit, but if I just made this even a little bit thicker, that is already better, right? Like that is already much better, you see? Because that is a chunky boy. Like the thumb is a chunky boy, but it's, oh, fuck, I got caught in the little spacing here. But yeah, that was great. Anyways, I hope you fucking tried. I hope you really did your best, right? Again, like, am I really practicing a hand? Yes, but no. All I'm doing is practicing spatial reasoning and forms, right? Like, and with certain proportions. And this is, again, going to be a beautiful way to teach it's just constant reinforcement of spatial reasoning, geometric, now organic mixed in with geometric, another beautiful way to just challenge myself, right? But I hope you put a lot of effort in, as always, and please rest your brain after this. But with that being said, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing. And money.